بسيما رابا كل خنتيتون شميتون ديا مملدي بودنا مختمر ميكس انجلش سورة بمزمن سبخشة من ديانا هنا تكنيكال خد زهمة إلى قد داتي أويوم قد ماس كله أن خبران رت مخلو ومش خبران قالوا قبل خبران تكنيكال مشان ديان. Anyway, so ملو بهمزمن باس إلى يولي أواك شما خد بتلشان ديان إلى مرقمانوتها ونطارت لشان عاشورايا دارايا شريتت كترة لشان خسر مبوعة بيطخني خاشوة متقدماني وباروشة أمانايا. So my talk is about digitization and preservation of modern Assyrian language, addressing the challenges of low resource languages through advanced technological solutions and AI. باروشة أمانايا خبر عن خشلي إلى artificial intelligence ربنا شخينا مبلوخنا مديانا خينا إن باروشة يعني intelligence أمانايا يعني craft so يعني خمدي إلى exactly إلى artificial intelligence. Okay. So ملوء يا topics بهمزون باسو إنا أن ماخذ بغزايتون همزون باسو خمني شمي إلى مكارو project موديلا. And by the way, for some of our Assyrian scholars, Assyriologists, I use code names for most of my projects that I do. In fact, all the projects that I do, I give them code names, and code names are from Akkadian. So, and I do this because in IT, in our profession, any new project is not out yet, we give it a code name. So I have long used these code names for Assyrian projects, anything that I work with language, and I give them Akkadian. And that's one of the things that Niros Nirari says, why can't we start using our Akkadian vocabulary, basically, you know. So this is at least my humble attempt to promote the use of Akkadian content. So I'll talk about significance of digitization. I'll talk about technological solution, the things that I'm going to be, that I'll show you. Most of my talk is going to be, by the way, show and tell. So I hope you'll like it. And I'll talk about 3 major projects that I have been working on for quite a while. One is Duprano Dictionary, again, Akkadian name, OCR, HTR, eScriptorium. This is Latin name, but that's the name of the platform, but I also have a name for it. It's called Amaru, means recognize in Akkadian. And the other one is Modern Assyrian Language Corpus Project. It's based on something we call a repository, something a historian. I also gave it a name, Akkadian name, Abusu, means storage. And we'll talk about future projects and other interesting things. So, Makaru projects, I don't see it here, but Makaru is an Akkadian word for a word which means to irrigate and to water something. So the reason why I gave it this name is think of a modern Assyrian language with all its dialects, this is important, as crops that need to be cultivated and maintained. So that's what motivated me to use this name for the project. So it's everything about preserving and enhancing the language, our Assyrian language, and the in Assyrian, our mission is really كل مدي المخاميتها ومروختة لشانا عاشورايا دارايا. So mission of the project is to preserve, enrich, and grow the modern Assyrian language through infrastructure and software platform development, and to provide innovative solutions to that supports Assyrian community throughout the world. So why Assyrian language is considered endangered? And there are several reasons, actually. It's critically endangered anytime. There's several factors. One is several factors that actually contributes to the designation that is endangered language. One is obviously migration displacement. One is lack of generational transmission. one is aging speaker population, and one is urgency. I mean, how we document things. And this slide is actually important because I want to show why. I mean, scholars know very well. If you don't speak the language, within 3 generations, basically, it dies away. So, you know, a lot of us have migrated or immigrated from older countries, and we don't have to go through a lot of these anyway, because we know what the reasons are. And of course, there are reasons why our people leave the old countries and they come here, but ultimately, if we don't do anything about it, the language will die. And through efforts, we're trying our efforts to reverse the trend. And this is one of them, actually. The things I'm going to show you is one of them. So thanks to, I was just talking to Tiglat, and he has so many ideas that we want to talk about. I mean, we want to do, and very interesting ideas, actually, is to help, you know, promote this language and instill it in the children's from the get-go, from the beginning. And you'll hear about a lot of these things in the future. Just to give you motivation of some of the things that we have problems with, and where our content is, the things that we need to preserve, and hence that digitization. So we have a lot of content like this all over the place, maybe stored in a box, someone's basement, and I've heard a lot of people, you know, they have maybe their father or grandfather died and left a box of written materials that no one really knows about it, and maybe the family doesn't care about it, and they don't know what's in it because they just don't value it. In fact, I have 2 examples. One is this manuscript. It was actually discovered by Nicholas Algilu. I think he was he went to Iran, and it was and he published, actually. He wrote about this in a paper in 2012. It's a manuscript that I think he has like 7 or 8 volumes of these he found, and handwritten, and one of them was like the history of Urmi. And one of them is a daily events that he did during the Iranian Revolution, when, you know, the Khomeini came. And he basically documented a day-to-day event, what was happening. And so these are valuable information, but it's handwritten. It didn't see the light of day, so to speak. But I will be talking about some of the technology that we have available today that we can take advantage and basically bring this to life. Here's another manuscript. It is handwritten. It's a beautiful, actually, handwriting, both in English and especially in English, actually, and in Assyrian. And it's 450 pages long. I came across it by accident. I found it on the internet. And actually, there was a note that it was, I don't know, some missionary that it was handed down to someone in New York, somewhere. And they don't know who the author was. But anyway, it's actually a dictionary. I think this probably goes back to 100 years ago. And it's like 450 pages. Someone is thinking about writing a dictionary at that time. These are other examples, similar, that have, you know, seen the similar fate. This is actually a list of manuscripts by Yosef Bitkulia from 1925. And thanks to ACF, Ashurbanipal Library, they have actually a copy of this. And actually, it has a lot of interesting things in it. For example, this is children's tales from Russia, and translated into Assyrian. Yosef Bitkulia, actually, I think he went to he went to Russia, so he learned Russian, and he translated many literature, great literature actually from Russian literature, and this one exactly is from someone who's called Andreyevich Krylov, and I think he's kind of like Shakespeare for the Russian, similar to what Shakespeare to English language, similar to what Shakespeare to personality is similar to what Shakespeare is to the Russian. But anyway, beautiful fairy tales, I think, and in Russian translated into Assyrian. No one knows about them. The other one is actually a dictionary, Tomaodu. Tomaodu dictionary is massive, is almost 1,000 pages long, Simtad Lishana Suryaya. And someone did some study on the richness of the material that it has. Actually, it has more words and derivations in it than the two other famous books. One is by Payne Smith, the Latin version, not the short version. Payne Smith actually has two versions. The daughter, I think his daughter, made the English version that we see, but there's another Latin version. I don't know if you have seen it. It's huge, actually. It's like this big, and it's maybe more than 1,000 pages long. But anyway, the point is, Tomaodu, has more content in his volume. Anyway, so what this person did, his name is Louis Koda. He reversed it. Tomaodu is Syriac, Lishana Sapraya. What he did English Syriac, and because he needed it. The bad news is that the person died, and no one really knows. He wanted to publish this book, but no one was able to get it. The good news is I have a copy of this. And again, it's a wealth. It's more than 1,000 pages long. And it's all handwritten, and it's all material that we could use to the other things that I also places that we can look and find treasure basically is this is Himmel. It's called the Hill Museum Manuscript Library. Again, I found this interesting manuscript. There is another manuscript also. The other one on the right-hand side, it's Isaac Murtagh, from Pearl Digital Collection. It's a history of, I think, the church or something like that. But it has like 200, I did estimation, it's 600 pages long. It has about 275,000 words. Now imagine everything is written. I mean, the whole history of church is written in Assyrian. It's handwritten. Again, these are, for me, treasures that are all over the place. Anyway, so basically what we did, me and my team, of course, we developed some tools to help us uncover all this material, use it, and utilize it, so it doesn't become, forgotten. And I'll be talking about everything that we did in subsequent slides. So this gives you an idea. It's a sketch. It might not make sense, but it's a process basically. What we do, so we will take scanned documents or documents that are in digital form. If they exist, we'll use them as is. If they don't exist, we'll scan them. And then we do an OCR or HTR. OCR means optical character recognition. HTR, handwritten text recognition. It's a technology, basically. It can read. So we taught the computer how to read Assyrian. That's the bottom line. So you give it a text, and it will read it for you. And this text could be an image, or it could be thank you. And then what we do with this, we do transformation. transformation means that we have to use it in such a way that we can process it. Otherwise, computer doesn't really deal with images. You have to make it so it can read a document, just like a Word document or a text document, right? Versus, if you take a picture. And then we store it into some disk. And then we have these applications that all support. These are actual applications that uses all this infrastructure, what we call. Basically, this is just kind of give you an idea what we're doing. And the first project is a dictionary. So the dictionary is, I called it Duprano. Duprano means a tree, actually. It's again, it's an Akkadian word, and Lishana in Syriac is called Daprana. Has no relation to whatever. I just wanted a name, an Akkadian name, so I called it Duprano. So Duprano Dictionary is a basically, I think, breaking initiative that aimed to preserve and document the language in all its forms, all its dialects, all its uses, and I'll show you shortly. And the way it's designed, it's not like one person works on it at a time. We have many people can work on it at the same time from all over the world. So the authoring part, the part that people work on, it's not only one person. Generally, when people write dictionaries, compile dictionaries, it's just like only one person is working on it. With today's technology, we have multiple people can collaborate and help, and I'll show you how that's done because we have the tools. So this dictionary has several characteristics, and in fact, I call them guiding principles. It has to have all these things. For example, many of the dictionaries that you see nowadays are really not dictionaries, like glossaries, and it's just like a word and its translation equivalent. We want to really make a real dictionary, a dictionary that you can read, you can use, you can cite, you can learn. So in our community, we don't have that. The closest that we have that has all these features, not all, that was more than 100 years ago, was the Syriac Tumaudu, Simtat Lishana, Suryaya. Because it gives you a definition of a word. We don't have any dictionary that I know of, at least. I mean, I might be wrong, but I've seen just about every dictionary, and I have every other dictionary that exists. I think I have all the dictionaries that exist in Assyrian, on Assyrian. And I challenge anyone if he has more than I do. So I've seen them all. So it's going to be basically, built on these principles. It's going to have a definition. It's going to have a headwork, has morphological components, how a word changes. It has tenses. It has like part of speech. Usage examples, how to use it, has synonyms and antonyms, like thesaurus and other relationships, and I'll show you that. It has etymology. If this is important because, especially because we want to collect everything that traces back to Akkadian as an example, and we will have that. And of course, language is just like any other language. It's just a living thing. It takes and gives. So it will also, and because of our, our lives as Syrians in general, the environment that they lived in, we took a lot from, Arabic, Kurdish, Turkish, actually you name it, Russian, even Italian, German, believe it or not, just about from every other. And it became part of the language. So, and by the same token, we gave, to other languages as well. In fact, I even found out that we gave to German language some words, believe it or not. I was surprised. But it made it. And even to Greek, believe it or not. In fact, Zach Cherry yesterday mentioned a word of Qanbatu, I think you said, Qanubu. Qanubu is a Akkadian word. The cannabis is actually came from Qanubu. Qanubu, which is an Akkadian word, means cannabis. So it's a Greek that gave it away to to English and other languages, but originally it's a Akkadian word. Anyway, so we'll have that. So we'll have that feature too. So you not only will show that we borrowed words from other languages, but we also show if we gave words to other languages, and Arabic too. And there's some other new features. For example, we'll also have dialectical variation documentation, meaning I think someone asked a question. We have many dialects. How are we going to, reconcile? Well, they're all important. We want them all. So if it's Laza, any Laza words, because the enrichment comes from diversification of words in different dialects. Some of these dialects use words, believe it or not, may go back to Akkadian. So we want those words. So for us, it's not bad to have diversity. It's good. It's one time that I use diversity in its proper context. It is good to have a diversity in dialect. So we want, and we have a lot of dialects. We have beautiful words from many, like matwate. And I think I saw one time someone was given a presentation on a tree. He said, we have 15 different words for one tree. And in his opinion, that was bad. We should standardize it on one. I said, no. Actually, this is very good. The fact that we have 15 different names, this is richness, really. Think about it. So we want that. So I'll be showing you some of these things. For example, one of the things that this dictionary is going to have is, let me click on this. Oh, I have to change the screen. Let me see. So this dictionary is online. It is available now. It is work in progress. And it has, for example, the keyword, or what we call head word, has part of speech. It has the meaning in English. It's going to be English, Assyrian English, and you can actually search English Assyrian, Assyrian English. But it will also have what we call usages, for example. It will not only show you the meaning or the translation, we call it translation equivalent, but also show you how to use the word in context. Orcha, for example, and this word happened to have 4 senses, 4 meanings, different meanings. Orcha is used different ways. So in each of these examples that I'm showing here, it's the word used in a different context. So someone who's going to read it, he's not just going to say, oh, this is, Orcha is way, trip, creed, means. Well, but they want to see how it's used so that they can make sense. Unfortunately, many of the dictionaries that we have today, they just have a list of these things, and they don't show you the context, so you don't know which one is which. So as an example, here I'm saying, al-urcha min margia al-rumta ta'ipe wa khilape. And I'll show you where I got these sentences from, these examples. The other one, trip, is plutla min ditu urchat khayuma, etc. The other things that, let's see, I go back, is it has a feature is what we call, we can look at it actually. So this dictionary, you can actually search for words. For example, if I want to click on this word and I want to find it, I can just type, I can search for it in Assyrian, and then it is searching. And it finds actually, the nice thing about this, it will find not only that word, it will find all the occurrences of where this word occurred in the dictionary. In fact, everything here is clickable. So if I click, and it will show you actually, it's highlighted as you can see. But let's see, the actual word, it's right here. I can click on it. This is the word actually that I'm looking for. I can click on it, and then it'll show me where it is. So that's one other feature. We can also do in English, for example, if I type brother, I can search,
And it'll, again, show me not only the word that has that brother in it, but it'll also it will show me all the words, all the entries from the dictionary that has brother in it, akhuna. So I searched in English, but I got, I could do that too. In the future, of course, we can add more languages because it's extendable platform that we can add other languages if we want to. And here, the other feature that I want to show you is about lahze. We not only show you where the word itself, we also capture the usages in different lahze. For example, someone told me in Urmi we call it akhuna, but when we talk in Mawana, we say maybe mabushna akhuni, right? Akhuna. So, and here the dictionary will show you how it's pronounced and in what location. For example, and these are indications. These are things that you can add to the dictionary. For example, Urmi location and Mawana location. And that's how we're going to be able to capture all these dialectical variations of a word, and so on. The other thing that it has, for example, you can also search. Every word belongs to what we call a semantic domain, like part of knowledge, right? So, for example, walking, running, eating, sleeping, they belong to different things, different concepts. And we capture that. How do we capture that? By what we call semantic domains. So semantic domains, we have we have here a list of 1,700 categories. That means all the words in the language, you can throw them in, think of it as you have 1,700 baskets, and each one it designates something. And you can say, well, I'm going to look in the walking or action basket. I'm going to look for thinking basket. I want to look for athletics basket. So this is, in a sense, you can use the dictionary conceptually. A lot of times, the way we use the dictionary is you don't understand the word, so you pick it up and look it up in the dictionary, just like I did, like brother, khuna. But the other way around is, what if you don't know? Let's say you're writing something, but you don't know what that word is, but you know it's related to, let's say, sky. So I can actually look for all the words related to sky, and it's going to give me all these words. For example, ubqa, bawagar, badri, burana, buran, barda, bariq, gidila, garib, zariq, khamana. So these are words specific to that area or that conceptual thing that you're looking for. So this is good for someone who's writing poetry, and we have Marina here and Nirari here, and learners too. And then you can actually then let's see, Zaharira, and you can click on it, and it will find it for you. And you can do it by any. It's a hierarchical structure, meaning there is like knowledge is like there is universe creation, but you can make it a little bit more concise. So you'd say, I only want words related to sky, or I only want to have words related to sun, or I only want words related to moon. And similarly, for example, jewel, water, anything that has to do with water, and it will find it for you. Okeanos, bira, biva, bandar, baris, braza, etc. So that's another feature of this dictionary. The other one is, let me go back to this, show you the etymology. I have to click on this, let's see. This shows you an example how we are going to show the etymology of a word. For example, we use this word, antichristos, which is a Greek word, but it's used in our literature. So we will actually show that this is a Greek. And now we also show it that this is from how it's pronounced in a Greek language as well. The other feature that I also wanted to show you is the definition. So Kipa is, well, it doesn't have it here, unfortunately, but I can show you how it's, but anyway, I can show you other features. The word itself actually not only show you the meaning and the translation equivalent and an example how it's used in the sentence, in usage, basically. It also shows you all the related words to it. For example, kipa qalai, kipa tqarqushum, kipa timana, kipa yaqura. And you can click any one of these, you can find these words. So it will basically, all the words that are related to this word are also are there. So again, this is another way of finding out what's cognate or words that use this word, or maybe this is a component, and so on. For example, sibta kipa means like kind of like cobblestone, something like that. Sabta means like pavement, right? Sabta. In Arabic we say what? Rasif. Sabta is actually it's a Syrian word. Anyway, so that's one way. Let me show you the dictionary. Actually, it doesn't show here, but let me show the definition of this word. This is the tool that actually the authoring tool that we use, but normally like you would not, the regular users would not use this. This is when we build a dictionary, we use this tool. But I just want to show you this example where it has a definition. So, definition of kipa is oh, it's not here too. I wonder what happened to it. Anyway, no, it's here. It's right here. It says, I'll read it. Gushma qashya dembrakyo min usiya khapreta lamit gershanta lamit yaqdanta bnura. Basically, he's describing what rock is. I didn't make up this definition. It was from Tuma Odu, by the way. So, but it's beautiful. But then the nice thing about this is when you read it, you'll not only know that kipa is a stone, but you also, you read the definition. When you read the definition, in a sense, you're learning. You're kind of, conditioning yourself to read and use the word in a language. So that's that. The other thing that I want to show you is what we call the synonyms, things, relationship between words. Let me see if I can find it here. So this word is called baraya, means external. The opposite is, it says antonym, meaning the opposite. Hibkaya, hibkaya khabara, gawaya, baraya, ile gawaya. And here it has another sense, for example, means uncultivated. So when we say ilana baraya, means the barra, or versus ilana shaynaya, means cultivated. So this is, so you're not only, we're showing you the relationship between the word and its antonym, if it exists. And you will find it this way. And you actually, because they're related, you can actually click on it and you can go to the actual word, like gawaya, baraya. And they're related by what we call, they call them lexical relationships. Again, and this is important too, because A lot of times, you want to see what's the opposite. You may know the word, but you don't know the opposite. Sometimes you want to know the word and all its synonyms too. And we have this one. We have it here too. Let me show you some other things. Let's see. I think I showed you this. Okay. Basically, that's really it. I mean, this is, and you can do search by part of, for example, if you want to find all the verbs in the in Syrian language that oops. I want to find all the verbs. So far, we have 600 verbs collected, but we actually have more. In the list, we have about 1,300, but I think we have, I'm guessing, I don't know, I might be wrong, at least we should have anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 maybe verbs. Arabic, I know, says about 8,000 verbs to 10,000 verbs. But verb is important to find all the verbs. So you can actually say, I want to look all the verbs without even know what they are, right? I can just do it this way, and I can just do a search. And this one will show you all the verbs that exist in the dictionary, like azil, akhal, amir, asr, asiq, ati, etc. I mean, it goes pages and pages. See this? On and on and on. Let's skip here. Kharkhar, kharkhat, khajbin, khashikh, etc., etc. So this is another way of finding all the verbs that exist in the language. Again, how this will be expanded with time. And you can, of course, you can click on any one of these words, and it will go there, and you'll see the definition, everything else. Yeah, there's some other things that we have here, we will be having, like neologism, like new words. Any new word will be marked as this is a new, and basically someone invented a new word, and we'll use it. And it'll also have technical terms. We have. Actually, I have someone who's been working with me. He sent me hundreds of these technical terms that they're waiting to be entered in the dictionary, and we will enter them. Of course, we're going to review them. The other one is, because these are important, because you're going to be writing something, so you need to know how, let's say, atomic power is, like a gruma, khayla grumaya, or nuclear power. How would you know that? But here you will see it because it's there. It's going to be there. The other, I think I want to show you also another thing that we can do is, remember I said we can show relationship between words, for example, synonyms, antonyms. In Arabic it's called, I think مضادات مرادفات المرادفات والمضادات خبران دمياية وخبران هبكاية. The other type of relationship that we can show is relationship like parts. For example, Ena is part of Risha. And it says here, I mean, again, dictionary will have a key so you'll understand what these symbols mean. So if I click, for example, if I go to Risha, and it will show you its relationship with other parts of the body. For example, Paghara, Nakhira, Nata, Ena, Pumma, etc. And this, again, this will show you, for example, things that you can maybe looking for, but you don't find it. You cannot find it. If you don't know the words, but you know it's related to, let's say, body, like human body. And you can just go for example, and you know Paghara. That's all you need. You just need Paghara to find the rest of the words. Of course, this will be expanded. This will be expanded. And similarly, for example, Risha is a whole, and the rest we call it parts. You can actually also click on Pumma, and it'll show you it's related to Risha, and it's part of Paghara, means body. So, and we'll also have what we call images and illustrations. So we'll have pictures in it, and we'll also have pronunciation too. So you click on a word, it'll tell you how it sounds. So that's going to be good, especially for someone who's learning the language, or maybe someone who doesn't know how to pronounce it, and or someone who's born here doesn't know how to pronounce certain words. It's going to have that as well.
So we need volunteers to help us to record all these words. If you're interested, we'll give you all the tools. I don't have to meet with you. You don't have to go to a certain place. You can do it actually from anywhere you want. You can even do it on your phone if you want. So how do we collect these words? Well, this is again where we use technology to help out. We just don't sit down and type word by word. No, I mean, we do that, of course. But we have a tool that will allow us to look at a text like this. So we enter this text, and then we ask this tool to basically break up everything in this text into words, and it does. And then anything that is highlighted in yellow, that means already is in the dictionary. Things that are not highlighted, that means it needs to be worked on. For example, these other words with asterisks. So the one who is the author, who's going to be working on this, he's going to come here, or she, and they're going to explore this. They're going to analyze the word, and then from within this part of the dictionary, they'll ask it to enter it into the dictionary, then it automatically goes there. So you're not even typing. You just paste it, basically. You copied it. You pasted a text. This is actually from the Bible, Ruth. So we pasted all the text, and it'll go and figure out all the words. So I don't have to think about what word I should be putting. I can put text here, and it will tell me which word that doesn't exist in the dictionary. Then I'll just focus on that. So that's how we do it. The other thing, too, we could do in a dictionary itself, if I want to look at an example, if I want to see, well, I want to see how this word is used. I can come here, for example. I can say, I already have text, right? I say, I will ask it to find this word in the concordance. That, what I showed you, by the way, was called concordance. So I can click on that word, and it will show me where this word occurs in the text. So if I know the word, but I don't know, I want to look for an example, I can do it this way. Versus if I know the word, I can put it from the text into the entry in the dictionary. And this will give me several examples I can take and put it in the dictionary. In fact, I can just do it from here. I can just say enter it in the dictionary. It'll take that sentence and put it there for me. So that's one way of collecting words. The other way is let's see, go back to the presentation. The other thing that we are planning to do is have basically survey all these books that we have, dictionaries. So there's this by Benjamin Haddad. It's animals. It's a dictionary about animals. One is a dictionary about plants. This whole dictionary is about the word bet beta. He calls it bet beta. It's about, I don't know, like 300, 400, 500 pages of words that has bet. So bet is one of those rich words in our language, and it's used a lot, like bet krihe, bet smacha, bet nahren, etc. So, but it's very, very used, and this is one. And the other things that we can use also, these other like technical terms, like we have someone who wrote a book about geometry in Assyrian. Anatomy, human anatomy, and vehicles and industrial products, animal, vegetables, and vitamins. And the other things that we will also utilize is, this is from Costa's, it's a Syriac dictionary, but it has proper names. Now, why proper names are important, I'll talk about it later. Because it's important also. In the dictionary, by the way, we also have proper names there, especially from the Bible, because you want to see how they're spelled, right? Because you want to unify the spelling. So this will be standard too. So this is one way to standardize the spelling of words, especially the names that we use them.
so that you can use it as a reference to this dictionary as a reference to help you see how something is spelled. And we will actually have a spell checker too, based on this dictionary. This is just something quick. I talked about it, thesaurus. It's called, again, I created this word, betchmala. Greek word actually says storehouse, so I think it's equivalent. If we say betchmala, it's kind of similar to it. So it means thesaurus. So we have actually a book from the 10th century by Episcopa Elia Barshinaya. He was bishop of Nisibis in the 10th century, 10th, 11th century. He wrote a book, actually. He wrote this is a manuscript. It was published in Iraq, actually, a few years ago by Benjamin Haddad. And it is actually, it's a thesaurus, almost thesaurus. This is from the 10th, 11th century. And a Latin version was actually, later was published in the West. A different version, but this is from on the right-hand side, this is from the 17th century. But actually, there's an even earlier version than this that was, that existed. But anyway, my point is, this is also a source of the synonyms, and this whole book is about synonyms and antonyms and words that, or what we call homonyms, or homophones. Homophone is a word that's spelled the same but has different meaning, like minute and minute. So they're two different words, but they're spelled the same. So we have a lot of examples in Syriac in this book, by this Episcopa, Elia Barshinaya. The other thing that we have tools to, this is an example from example page, Hilqat Lishana by Odishu Malko at Ashita, that he wrote. It's actually a wonderful dictionary, but it's a Syrian Arabic. So we can actually take this, every page, and process it. I already developed a software that does this. And what it's going to do is going to break down every component on each page, because this is what we call, it doesn't have a structure. It's not like a file that tells me, like, this is a main entry, this is the part of speech, this is just a text. So in order for me to know what's in it, I have to use some intelligence. I have to make some program that's smart enough to figure out, okay, so this is the Assyrian part, this is the Arabic part, and this is the definition, and so this is an example of what we call parsing. And then we'll figure out what it is, and then we'll extract all these words and automatically enter it into this dictionary. So this is basically things that will make our work efficient, so you don't have to sit down and type it. And again, the reason why we have it, because the dictionary itself actually has what we call implicit structure versus explicit structure. So the implicit structure, like Rukawa Tishya versus Rukawa Gilya. So I need to extract what that structure is through this process that will allow us to take the entries through a computer program, and it will load it into this dictionary. So this part ended my discussion on dictionary. The other one, what I want to show you quickly, is what we call the OCR. So we trained the computer to basically read Assyrian text. And of course, in English, in many other languages, like Latin-based, the technology existed for a long time, but not until recently technology was advanced enough. AI technology, by the way, this is an AI, that allows us to read text in Assyrian. And I'll show you some examples. So this book is about Marbishu. So we have a text. It's a story, basically. It's one of the manuscripts that were collected by Paul Bajan in Acta Sanctorum E. I think Acta Sanctorum E. whatever. But it's one of the stories in his in Syriac. But it was translated into Modern Assyrian. So it's an image, and if I want to read it. So we taught the computer how to read it, and then this is on the left right here. This is an image actually. So it's an image means a picture. It doesn't know that this word is tash'id khayya or niskhanat qadisha awa bisha ikhidaya. It doesn't know that, but we taught it to read it, and the way to so the program we train it. With some examples, we type and show it how it works, and then the computer knows how to read it, and then it becomes text. And then what you could do, so it basically breaks each line into a strip, and then it reads it, and then it breaks each word within a line, and then breaks each character, and then it reads them, and then it puts it together. And so that's the product of the text. The image to text, or the transformation, or OCR. This is a printed book, so it's a little bit less challenged than handwritten, but I'll show you the handwritten text. It also does a good job. And then once it transform it, and then someone can go and do the editing. And thanks to Ashur Banipal, he's helping me to, in fact, he said he finished editing this program. It's not going to be 100% perfect, but it's good enough that will allow us to make some corrections here and there, like scapa, or maybe it missed something. And you can actually do this quickly. I can just go to the next one because it shows you the actual line. This is what we call the ground truth, how it's supposed to be, and this is the computer that attempted to correct it. Again, because this was corrected thanks to Ashurbanipal, it doesn't have any errors in it. It didn't really have. I don't think it had many errors. It was like minimal. Yeah. It did really a good job. So that's one way. And then once you have it in text, and then we can use this text, and guess what? We can put it in that dictionary. And that, you remember I showed you, we pasted a text in a dictionary, and then we'll ask the dictionary to break up all these words and find all the words that are not in the dictionary, and then we can add them to the dictionary. So that's one example of printed text, but I'll show you an example of handwritten, which is also a marvel, if you think about it. Let's see. Let's see. Anyway, but it would be. But it does actually, so it doesn't really matter for it. It will, I just cannot find it. Maybe it is, let's see. Doesn't matter, but the point is, if we have a manuscript like this, just to show you an example. This is very sophisticated, of course, and this manuscript is handwritten. This is from Vatican, but even if it's handwritten, it can read it actually. Of course, not perfect, but the point is it will save us maybe 90% of or maybe 80%, even 80%. If it can read it, it's pretty good, I think. And then we just only work on, In the old days, we didn't have this technology. Any scholar who would want to publish a manuscript that's unpublished, they have to go and actually type it. But nowadays, you can give some of this to the computer, it will read it, it will maybe have 80-85% accuracy, and then you just go and correct it. But that's how, technology allows us to do that. And this is AI, by the way. So we actually have another way of doing this. We can use Google Lens. So this is, you have to you have to have access to this application. This application is available online. So anyone who is interested, who wants to help and volunteer, you can come and contact me. I can show you how it works. Because, and it's available online means anyone, anywhere in the world can access it. So you don't have to have a program, you don't have to download a program, it's online. There's actually another way you can do Google, what we call Google Lens. And anyone can do it, actually. And you can take an image, and you can ask Google to search for a text, and then it will search for text. You'll get a lot of garbage. But one hidden feature, maybe not too many people know, is actually you can ask it to do transcription. Even though Assyrian is not officially, or Syriac writing a script, is not officially supported by Google, but actually it works. So it works maybe, I don't know, maybe 90% of the time. So you could be, in fact, when I was in Iraq, I was taking pictures of just about everything I saw. And I was asking Google, and it was transcribing them for me in real time. So it was kind of nice, you know, it's Shemani Dukane, Blishanidian, Gyo Ankawa, which was kind of nice, beautiful scene actually to see. Store names in Assyrian for the first time maybe, I don't know, in history actually. And Assyrian everywhere, you know, and you can, if someone doesn't know how to, you know, read it, and you can just take a picture. In the future, we'll show you, we'll do also Google Translate, but we're not there yet, but we will be there. And this is another example I don't want to show you. And in fact, I was in the museum. They have a museum there just to prove, because I was doing a demo in real time. All I did, I took a picture of some of these displays on the wall, and in real time, I was able to transcribe them. So I can just take a picture and give it to Google Translate or Google Lens, and it can transcribe the text for me. I can copy that text. I can do anything I want with your phone. So this is accessible. Now you can do it. And of course, you know, we have other, like this is an example of a manuscript in Lazat al-Qushnai. And our goal is also to capture all these, any manuscript that's written in any dialect. And that will also be through OCR and HTR. And we will be able to read it and enter in the dictionary and extract words from it. Remember, every dialect enriches the language. So that's the second. And the last thing I'm going to be talking about is what we call Modern Assyrian language corpus. So we have a dictionary, and they're all connected, by the way. We have a dictionary, we have the OCR, and then how do we collect text? So once we collect it, what do we do with it? And we're going to have a huge amount of text. And so this project, which I call it Modern Assyrian Language Corpus Project, it allows you basically to manage everything that you've collected in a place. And these are, you know, some goals and how we're going to do this. But I want to show you, I'd rather show you how it works. This is online, it's available, so you can access it too. It's called, I called it Open Source Modern Assyrian Text Corpora and Lexical Resources. So what you could do, you could actually go and search for a word. For example, I can type Anna. And then every instance that this word occurs in every source, it will display it for you. Here I got 4,139 times. And then you can say, okay, I'm going to click on this word. It will show me where, you know, the full context. This is, by the way, called concordance. This tool is very, very important for someone who's doing linguistics analysis, or something where we call corpus statistics, because it shows you how it's used, and you can also extract senses or meanings of a word. because a word used in a context, in a different context, will have a different meaning based on where it occurs. This one not only shows you the word, but will also show you what we call time trend, the history that it's history across time. So that means I have content from 1906 until today. So it will show you, for example, in 1906 and how many times it was used. This is only the time, this is the period of time that this word is used. And of course, this is from content that we have. And this is, by the way, from Kikhwa. So you can click on this one right here. It'll show you the document number, where it was published, and what date, what issue, and what page number, and what year. So if you're looking for a word, for example, and it doesn't exist, let's say, prior to 1950, and then all of a sudden you start seeing it in 1950 and beyond, so you know most likely this word was in use in 1950, and from that point on. So in a sense, you'll trace its history and when it was used for the first time. This is very useful, actually, for this type of analysis. There's many, many things you can do, actually. For example, you want to see all the words that, the context of this word, it occurs, and it'll show you that, too. You can do some magic things. You can do searches, too. For example, let me go back here. So you can say, I want all the words that start with beat, or let's say Zain. Give me everything that starts with letter Zain. And it will show you that. So it'll give you a list of all of them. Because sometimes you just don't know, but you know it's maybe start with some letter. And this one not only will show you where they are, they'll also show you its timeline, its usage across time. For example, and then you can click on it, for example, Zona, and then you can click right here and go to Concord, and it'll show you all its context and so on. And one last thing I want to show you, actually, is what we call corpus information. The corpus means text, by the way, body of text. So this one, let me see, publication date. So this shows you the percentage of content that we collected from different periods. So far, I only have 57 references. I have about 3 million words, and we have 3 million words in this. And this is, I think, the largest collection ever in one place, and it will grow. It will grow. I think my goal is to get it to 100 million words. So you'll have basically a text just about everything that our language produced, works, social media posts, printed text, non-printed text, handwritten, whatever, it's going to be here, and it's going to be accessible from here, and you can actually see it, how it works. And also shows you like some statistics. For example, this is from like 17% is from 20s, and whatever this number is, it's 12% from 1906. And we can also have, for example, the countries that it was published in, because we have this, what we call metadata, information about where we collected this. And it will show you that as well. And the sources, too. For example, this is online, this is books, this is magazines, journals, what have you. That's about, let's see, I think that's, yeah, in the future we have what we call, let me see. We'll talk about future things that we're going to be talking about is, we're going to do machine translation, text-to-speech, and speech-to-text. And I give an example to why it's important. For example, if you have a YouTube, there's a lot of material there. Someone did some statistics on for an English speaker, generally they say an English speaker speaks 16,000 words per day. And there's about 400 million speakers in the world. So the order of text generated just from speech is about trillions. So for Assyrian, I'm a little bit humble, and I say, if we do the same thing, let's say we, speak 16,000 words per day per person, and we have about 500,000 people. We're going to be generating almost in the orders of a billion of words, about 8 billion words per day, for 500,000 people. So imagine if we have all this material that we have on YouTube and things like that. So that's also a source for text. It's not only books, magazines, posts, but also speech. So that's going to come when we do the speech to text. And again, this is the good thing is what I want to leave you with is how you can help. You can, spread the word. You can help financially because we can actually pay some people, especially in Atra, to help us with this. They don't have jobs. Maybe we can pay them to help us with some of this work that needs to be completed. And we can use it for education. Community engagement is important. And last but not the least, I want to do thank everyone here, and also specifically these specific people who are helping me, part of my team, Damson Lachin, Arthur Bajan, Romel Elia, Ashubanipal, Tekaleta, Sarah, our Sarah right here, Sarah Gao. And thank you, Assyrian Cultural Foundation, for basically sponsoring the dictionary project. And of course, thanks to Robert Dekaleta, who's been with me all this time since the inception, helping me get this thing going and get it off the ground, And of course, I thank to Assyrian authors from US, Europe, Middle East, and Australia, who gave us material to include in that corpus. The Ashur, by the way, I called it Ashur text. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's Ashur text. So you can do ashurtextmakaru.com, and you can actually access it. Thank you.